Cheers. Greet the man at the center of the hit true crime podcast as he takes his first steps to freedom following decades behind bars. A Baltimore judge ordered the release of Adnan Syed yesterday. He was convicted in the 1999 killing of his ex-girlfriend, Hae Min Lee, in the case that inspired the serial podcast. Garrett Barry has all the details for us this morning once again. So let's talk about this, Garrett. What led to really a remarkable turn of events?
Remarkable. It was a decision made by prosecutors about a week ago. What they've done essentially is not given up hope of securing a conviction against Syed, but as you can see there, for the first time in more than 20 years, he's free today. This motion they put to the court last week, they've essentially admitted that the conviction that he faced in 2000 is insufficient, so Syed should at least get a new trial. His release happened out of Baltimore courtroom after a years-long reinvestigation into the murder of Hae Min Lee. She was murdered in January 1999. She was 18 years old. The current state attorney, Marilyn Mosby, said that review that they undertook over the last year found serious errors in Syed's conviction. That cell phone data, for example, used in the first trial wouldn't hold up today, and that evidence that would help the defense, called exculpatory evidence, wasn't handed over to Syed's original lawyer, something that under American law, John, must be done.
Through our review, our reinvestigation revealed that the original prosecutors and the subsequent prosecutors in the Attorney General's office failed to disclose relevant information about alternative suspects, one of whom threatened to kill the victim and had motive to kill the victim, and both of whom had a pattern of violence against women. Our investigation suggests that the two suspects may have been involved.
So now this is still an open case, and prosecutors will have 30 days to decide whether or not they want to set a new trial date against Syed or basically withdraw the charges against him. They say they're waiting on a new type of DNA evidence called touch DNA, something that wasn't available to them in the original trial in 2000.
The podcast serial, of course, heard by millions and arguably spawned the entire true podcast genre. So let's talk a bit about that background.
Yeah, it shattered streaming records. It was downloaded and listened to more than 60 million times. And that was just some of the first episodes in this series they did about this case. It was a reporter-led investigation into Hae Min Lee's murder. Syed always maintained his innocence, and so throughout the series you hear him speak to the reporter, and you hear the reporter try to uncover new details about the case, about what happened. There was a new episode released this morning to coincide with Syed's release from prison. I will say the podcast did get some criticism for not being able to include much of the family of Hae Min Lee. After Syed was released yesterday, a lawyer for the family did speak to reporters. He criticized how the legal review into the case was handled.
The state's attorney's office acted in this case is just inexcusable. They knew about this for more than a year. It was clear from their conduct they absolutely did not want to afford this victim any meaningful opportunity to address this motion. My clients, all they wanted was information. They want the truth to come out. If the truth is that someone else killed their sister, daughter, they want to know that more than anybody.
During the hearing, the brother of Hae Min Lee also spoke to the court. He said he felt betrayed by prosecutors. He felt the case was settled and finished and wasn't expecting this reinvestigation. He said the constant relitigation in popular culture and in court have made it extremely difficult for his family. He said, "This is not a podcast for me. This is real life, John."
Thanks for this, Garrett. Garrett Barry in St. John's.